What's up, everybody? My name is KSaun. Welcome back to another Pokemon Draft League video. We've got week number 5 of the SPDA this week, and it should be a good one. We are going up against none other than Gokey Gamer. And this guy is a gamer, and he is running a mono normal team. If you remember, week number 2, we played against Nova Blader, who ran a mono fire team. Well, this is the other mono team in the league. There's 2 people who are doing this challenge, and honestly, I have so much respect for it. This guy's rocking only normal types. It is going to be a hell of a battle. I think he's going to have his work cut out for him. If he can beat our team with this, then honestly, mad props to him, but it should be an interesting fight, and I'm excited to get into it. As always, if you don't want to stick around for the team builder, there will be timestamps down below if you want to jump right into the battle, but if you want to see the details of why I'm bringing what I'm bringing, stay tuned. Let's jump into this. First of all, looking at the rosters, obviously you can see our team up top, and there is a slight change from before. Last week we made the change for the Arcanine Hisuian. This week we dropped our Toxtricity. Rest in peace, Eddie, my guy. I absolutely loved Eddie, our Toxtricity. But I saw an opportunity here for the last number of weeks that I think is going to make a really good difference for us. We dropped the Toxtricity in honor of the Lucario Terra Captain. I said at the beginning of the season that I thought Toxtricity was the #1 Terra Captain out there. I didn't say in that video, just in case that I wanted to switch it later, that Lucario was the second best that I thought at that moment. Honestly, after playing this many weeks into the season, I think I might have had those flipped. I think Lucario might honestly be the #1 Terra Captain, and the main reason that I wanted to make this change is because Lucario gets absolutely insane priority attacks, and one of the things that I've come to realize just more and more throughout Pokemon Draft League is how important priority is. Last week we lost because essentially that Goldengo Choice Scarf outsped our entire team. Kaz played it really well. Obviously some RNG didn't go in our favor, but regardless, you know, having the fastest thing on the field means you have the fastest thing on the field. And sometimes being able to beat some of those Choice Scarfers by being able to click a button that goes first regardless can be really strong. And the fact that Lucario can go Terra Fighting, Steel, and Normal, we have Stab, like extra Stab bonus to all of its priority attacks. Lucario is basically the king of priority with Extreme Speed, Vacuum Wave, and Bullet Punch. So I'm really excited to use him throughout the season. And obviously using him this week against a mono normal team sure isn't bad either. But Gokey, who is an awesome person, awesome content creator who you should very much check out, by the way, this is his roster. He's got the Cyclizar with 121 base speed, Regenerator ability, which means he can be an excellent pivot mon, being able to switch in and out, catching knockoffs and U-turns and different things like that. Can also just drop a Draco Meteor on somebody's face and can deal decent damage if needed. The Hisuian Zoroark, honestly, for me, I think this is the Pokemon that makes Gokey's team. I expect Zoroark to come this week for one simple reason. It's that I can't spam fighting coverage if he brings Zoroark because it is part Ghost, which means it will take no damage from it whatsoever and can also disguise himself as any other mon. So if I think that I'm free to click a, choice locked fighting move into somebody and Zoroark shows up, I could be in real trouble. It also has Will-O-Wisp to mitigate a lot of damage that some of my physical mons have, such as the Tinglu and the Iron Hands. I expect this mon to come. I think it's a huge threat, and it also kind of hard counters the Spectrier, so I could see this mon coming for sure. I'm realizing right now that I accidentally goofed with the Terra icons here. These Terra icons are not correct. I left these on from last week's video for Kaz. Staraptor is not a Terra Captain, thank God, but he is a really good mon at 100 base speed with the Reckless and Intimidate ability, can function really well as a breaker, either Choice Scarf, Choice Band sets. Porygon Z honestly is a very scary attacker with its special attack just being so damn high. The Meloetta, 90 base speed, again, very similar, nice special attacker. Also does get the Relic Song move where she can turn into her Pirouette form, which is more of a fast physical attacker. Terrapagos is always something you have to account for. With its Terra Shell ability, when it's at 100% HP, it basically takes not very effective damage regardless of the type that hits it. So even though if I hit it with a fighting type attack, it will take it as if it resisted it instead of it being super effective. Smeargle is very scary and something that I have to respect because it can literally run any move in the entire game. This means it can set up sticky webs on my team, can go for Cecil's Edge to set up spikes, it can put up toxic spikes, a lot of different scary things, can even go for a Shell Smash Pop Bomb set or something. There's just no idea, no telling what this thing could do. So I'm hoping, honestly, that it doesn't come this week, but we'll see. Oinkologne, honestly, don't expect this thing to come. It could do some annoying things with either Thick Fat or the Lingering Aroma ability, but other than that, I'm not sure what all it would do. Ursaluna, I'm sure, is going to come this week. I would be stunned if it doesn't. It honestly offensively looks very good into my team. It can be either a Guts, Flame, or boosted set. Can also be a very effective Assault Vest user. I've also seen Gokey run Choice Scarf Ursaluna, so I would not be shocked to see that come as well. Ditto is a Terra Captain this week, but it's not those Terra types. It is the Electric, Normal, and Stellar, I believe. And Ditto is very scary because it's one of my mons. And so it's one of those situations where I'm trying to set up one of my mons for success to sweep his team, but I can't make a mon that's so good that it sweeps my own team. Because if I make it strong enough to be able to KO all my mons, well then he just brings in Ditto and he just beats me with it, which can be really hard. Dunsparce is tricky, can also run Eviolite sets and be really annoying with like Roost and Glare and different things like that. And Snorlax is no slouch. He might be really slow, but he is bulky as hell, deals a lot of damage. And honestly, there's a few different creative sets I think he could run that could be scary. But let's jump into my team and see what I'm bringing for this week. So this week, we are running Joyce the LATIAS. So far, 4 weeks in, we've lost both weeks where Joyce didn't come, and we've won both weeks where she did come. So hey, let's bring her week 5 and see what happens. I'm running Light Clay with the Levitate ability, max HP, and max speed. So we are not going offensive, we're going bulky, but faster than everything else that we possibly can outspeed. We're running Mist Ball because honestly, the only thing that resists Psychic is that Meloetta on the other side, and there's no Dark type on the other team, which means that Mist Ball is never doing 0 damage, which is really, really nice. Reflect and Light Screen to mitigate any sort of damage that Gokey can bring out, and we have Healing Wish as well. I think Healing Wish could be really useful this week on either Ting-Lu, Iron Hands, Arcanine, even Lucario. Honestly, there's so many mons I think on my team that if they have basically a whole second life, could be really, really useful into his team. The next set I'm curious about to see how it works, I think it could be really strong, is a Choice Band Ting-Lu. And now this might look weird at first because Choice Band basically takes your attack stat and multiplies it by 1.5. That's not exactly how it works. What it does is it takes your physical damage basically and multiplies it by 1.5. So with max HP, max defense, with a relaxed nature, increasing how much defense we have Payback, Heavy Slam, Body Press, and Spikes. Body Press deals damage based off your defense, not your attack, but Choice Band still multiplies the damage that Body Press does. It seems like it wouldn't work that way, but it does actually work that way. So even though we are going for a super physically bulky build with Ting-Lu, if he doesn't bring Zoroark, we are just going to click Body Press over and over and do tons of damage. If he does bring the Zoroark, I will just keep clicking Payback until I find out where the Zoroark is, and then eventually we'll click Body Press after. Iron Hands bringing the Assault Vest this week with 24 HP, 232 into SPDA, and 252 into the attack stat. Now, I am putting tons of special defense into this thing. One thing that I didn't note, the Porygon Z on the other side gets the download ability, and basically what it does is when it comes in, whatever stat is lower for my mon, whether it's defense or special defense, it gets a boost by 1 stage to that type of damage. So if our special defense is lower, it'll get a special defense raise. Now, Porygon Z is a special attacker, so when you're facing Porygon Z, you want to, if at all possible, make sure that your special defense is higher than your defense, because otherwise he just gets super roided out and can do crazy damage. So with this build, our special defense is actually 1 stat point higher than our defense, and you will see the basically recurring theme throughout the rest of the team, where I do it on Arcanine. I also do it on Lucario, where basically I'm just doing 4 EVs. It's just 1 single point into special defense, because normally both of their defenses and special defense are the same. Because of that just one tiny investment, it makes it so that Porygon Z will not do way more damage. So that is just a tiny little trick here, but it could go a long way if he brings the Porygon. But we're running Drain Punch, Heavy Slam, Volt Switch, and Fake Out on Iron Hands, and this is my dedicated Terrapagos answer. Honestly, Terrapagos is one of those mons that you really have to prep for. One of the scary mons on the other side. Can easily Rapid Spin to get a speed boost. It can also go for Rock Polish, Meteor Beam sets. It can do so much crazy stuff. And with the Fake Out, it should be able to break the Terra Shell on Terrapagos, which means that it will flinch. It won't be able to go for whatever setup or damage move that it wants to try and do. And then Drain Punch on the next turn will either OHKO it or will come close. And if it doesn't KO it, we'll get a bunch of HP back and basically can just Drain Punch again from there. The one nice thing about this is if he does bring the Zoroark, there are 2 mons that basically won't fool me if he does bring the Zoroark. Zoroark cannot effectively disguise himself as Terrapagos because Terrapagos' ability comes into play once it comes on the field. So he will look like a different form if it's Zoroark, so I won't fall for that. And at the same time, also Ditto. If I just see a Ditto on the field and Ditto doesn't turn into my Mon, then I know it's Zoroark, so that is something to keep an eye out for. Dustin the Arcanine Hisuian this week, rocking the Choice Scarf Adamant Nature, very similar to what we ran last week. 52 in HP, 252 into attack, 4 special defense, and 200 speed. These moves are not exactly accurate. I decided to change very last minute right after I made this graphic, so when I play the battle, this is going to be different. I am not running Rock Blast, I'm actually running Close Combat. The Rock Blast was originally here in case I wanted to lead this into Smeargle, who would be potentially running a Focus Sash, and that basically a multi-hit move would be able to get through that. But I decided not to go with that because my next Pokemon to go over is going to be my dedicated lead. But I'm going to run Head Smash, Close Combat, Psychic Fangs, and Extreme Speed. Psychic Fangs is basically just to break any sort of screens that he could set up, either on his own Mon, or maybe if he Dittos Latias and sets up screens, I can break those as well. And then the Tinkaton, the Nancy, is my dedicated lead. Now, with the Fairy Steel type being very nice defensively into almost his entire roster other than the Ursaluna, also rocking the Lumberry, Gigaton Hammer, Knockoff, Reflect, and Encore. This thing is basically here to beat a Smeargle lead. If a Smeargle comes, or honestly, like a Ditto comes, it kind of beats Zoroark, Hisuian. Like, it just does well into pretty much everything unless it is Ursaluna. And if it's Ursaluna, unless it's Choice Scarf, if it's Choice Scarf, we're in trouble, but if it's not, we should be good to go. If it's Flame Orb, basically I can just set up a Reflect. He's going to go for damage. I can switch out into something else. Or if he somehow protects to try and just make sure he gets his Flame Orb off, I can then Encore him into Protect or something like that. It can be really, really useful. So the last Mon, last but not least, we have the Inner Focus Heavy Duty Boots Lucario with Terra Fighting here. 252 into Special Attack, 252 into Speed, and 4 Special Defense with a timid nature. It says modest there. That is a mistake. It's definitely timid because I wanted to tie in speed to the Porygon Z and the Meloetta here. But we have an Aura Sphere, Flash Cannon, Vacuum Wave, and Nasty Plot. I really don't need any other moves on this guy. Fighting hits basically everything on the team, except for Zoroark, Hisuian, and other things that can go into Terra Fairy, which in that case, Flash Cannon will hit super effectively. So if we can get a single Nasty Plot off, we should be able to basically do tons of damage to the entire team with priority. And the reason I'm running Heavy Duty Boots is because if he brings Smeargle, I really don't want to just like lose the game because he brought Toxic Spikes and all these kinds of other spikes and hazards where I'm not healthy enough to go for a Nasty Plot. So ultimately, guys, that is the team. Going to be a good match against Gokey. He seems like a really awesome person. Just, you know, talking with him a little bit on Discord, he seems cool as hell. I think you guys should really check him out. His channel is awesome, and mad respect to him for running a full mono normal team. Honestly, if he manages to take me down with that team versus an Iron Hands, Tinglu, Arcanine, and Lucario, like, dude is just the GOAT. So we're going to see how this goes. I'm not going to take it lightly because I think he's a very good player. I've seen him beat some really top tier players. So I think it's going to be a tough one, but we'll see how it goes. And let's jump into the battle. All right, guys, we should be just about ready to go. It just hit the time that we're supposed to start. So I'm going to go ahead and hit search and see what happens, see if we can get connected to Gokey here. Good luck and have fun him. Should be a good match. So there's no Smeargle. There's also no Zoroark. Oh my god. That is nice. That's very nice. Okay, no Zoroark, no Terrapagos. Oh wait, there is Terrapagos. He just looks different because he's the little form. I almost missed him for a second. Wait, who am I missing? All right, so Cyclizar, Meloetta, Ursaluna, Ditto, Snorlax, and Terrapagos. So my original plan was just to lead Nancy, and I think I'm just going to stick with that. So his only Terra Captain here is Ditto, which means he does not have a Dark Resist, which means Choice Band Payback. Jonathan looks really good. I'm like almost tempted just to lead it. But we're going to lead Nancy anyway. That was our plan, and we'll just go from there. See how it goes. No Zoroark. Cyclizar is here. Staraptor's here. I'm just trying to think of who could potentially outspeed Choice Scarf Arcanine. But we're actually an Adamant Nature, so there's a good bit that could outspeed us if they're Scarf. So we'll see. He's just going to lead Ursaluna. And there is no... what's it called? There's no Zoroark. So I'm just going to click Reflect here. This guy could be Scarf and Headlong, but I believe I calc this to live this. Yeah, after Reflect, we should live any... Headlong Rush, and if he protects to get the Flame Orb off, which he doesn't, he is Scarf, and that is a problem. Okay, it's not a problem, but it's a kill. I wasn't even thinking. Obviously, Choice Scarf Okos. That wasn't smart of me. Okay, but we know Ursaluna's Scarf. Oops. Bad start on my part. I wasn't thinking. I literally just said he could be Scarf, and obviously we don't get the Reflect up if that's the case. So Scarf Headlong. So Joyce comes in here for free. Is that what I want to do? I think so, right? Could also go Jonathan, I guess. But Joyce just gets free screens here. I mean, he's -1 defense. I could just go choice band Jonathan here and pay back something. Something is going to either die or get very close. I also could body press freely, actually, because there's no... Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go Jonathan here. He could get chip on me for headlong rush, but I think he dies to body press if he does that. So I'm just going to choice band body press here and see what happens. See what he goes for. He doesn't have a resist to this. Meloetta is like the only one that resists it. Terapagos could come in, obviously, with his like Terra Shell. Ditto could come in, but Ditto is going to take a ton of damage because it's super effective if that's the case. We'll see where he goes. You know, honestly, I thought the Choice Scarf versus Luna could be a bring, and I just like had a brain fart there at the beginning. I obviously don't get Reflect Up before that happens, but something's taking a huge chunk. There's nothing that he can do about that, I don't think. Terapagos is the only one that takes it somewhat well, and I think would die on the next hit, I think. All right, he's going to withdraw. Who's he going into? Silly Putty. So it's a Ditto. So this Ditto is going to take a lot of damage. I don't know how much I do to myself, like Ting Lu, but this Ting Lu on the other side has only a little bit more than half my HP. So yeah, it's going to do a lot. Yeah, that is a 2-hit KO. I have no reason not to just click this again. Because that does... like 160 damage or something like that, because Ditto should have 300 HP always. So I'm just going to do this again. And if I can get rid of Ditto, I mean, that's just gravy. Choice Band Ting Lu, man. He does a lot of damage. If he switches, something else is taking a lot. It's either that or he loses Ditto, which is fantastic for me, because I do not want to deal with that thing. Because that means he couldn't copy my Arcanine or other mons like that. So we'll see. He's in a tough spot here. He's in a really tough spot, I think. He could be maybe weakness policy on something that he could switch into. He might be calcing right now to try and figure out if I'm banded. Oh no, we disconnected. Are you serious? All right, guys, so we just reconnected. It looks like either I or Gokey disconnected, so we're remaking real quick. But we are switching in. The Ditto's going to come in and going to catch this body press, and then we're just going to go from there. Obviously, I'm going to click body press again, just like I did last time, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah. This should be a 2-hit KO regardless. Yeah, it's about the same damage as last time, so that's good. We don't have to worry about anything there. And I'm just going to body press. That's what I clicked before we disconnected. And we'll see what Gokey decides to go for. I'm curious if he had already made his decision or if he just DC'd like during. We either take out Ditto or we do a ton of damage to something. Honestly, I kind of hope he stays in. Getting rid of Ditto would be fantastic, but I think he probably... I don't know. I don't know what he goes into to take damage. Like, is there something that he doesn't care about that much? We'll see. Nope, he's going to stay in and body press. No crits or anything, so he'll do a chunk, but Ditto is gone, and honestly, I am so stoked about this, because that thing is a nightmare in prep. The 3, like, really weird mons, Ditto, Smeargle, and Zoroark, I don't have to worry about anymore, because Ditto is gone and the other 2 didn't come. So now, I need to calc, though, let's see, how much HP am I at? Depending on what comes in. Cyclozar. I don't think Cyclozar can do... anything too crazy on me. I mean, even if he like shift gears, like he's not doing anything. All right, this thing does not get Will-O-Wisp, and I don't think he can do a ton with shift gear. So I'm just gonna body press again. I think. Do I have a reason not to? Not really. I think I just see how much damage he can get done. Maybe he's weakness policy or something. No, he's gonna U-turn. Okay, he U-turns into something. And what is going to take a body press? He obviously knows that I'm body pressing because I stayed in, and I think he should know by now that I'm banded, I believe. Hatsune, that is the Meloetta, I believe. And so we should do still okay damage. I think that's a 3-hit KO. Is that leftovers? Yeah, I was going to say, it can't be weakness policy. It's probably not a 3-hit KO after lefties, though, is the thing. And now, do I go into Hopper here? I mean, does this thing get agility? I don't think this thing has a way to boost its speed, is the thing. So even if it starts to set up, I can always just come in with Arcanine later with the Scarf, and I think then we're okay in that spot. I'm just going to keep body pressing. Hyper Voice, how much does this do? Not enough. A little over 100. Body press does a chunk. Even after lefties, I think that kills on the next hit. God, Ting Lu is a monster, dude. Choice Band Ting Lu is wild. I think this kills. Pretty sure. I'm going to lock this shit in. Hyper Voice does not kill. I believe we knock out. It does. Oh my goodness, Ting Lu, dude, you are a monster. You are a monster. So he has taken out 2 mons by himself just by clicking this one button. He is low now where something probably comes in and kills me, I think. Thing is, I could potentially outspeed this Snorlax. So it might be worth keeping around Ting Lu just for that, but it kind of depends on what he brings in to see if I can like safely swap into something. He goes Turtle. So in this spot, I think I just go into Iron Hands here. Pretty sure, because I can come in, I can click Fake Out. I can keep the Ting Lu for later. I can come in and click Fake Out, and then I can Drain Punch after. That's what I want to do. He could set up. He could go for Rapid Spin or like Rock Polish or something. But I think we are going to take whatever he can dish out pretty well. Iron Hands is kind of the answer to this. Terra Starstorm should not do crazy damage. We are AV, a lot of special defense investment, and that is not a lot, which we love to see. I'm going to click Fake Out. Hopefully he doesn't think about this. Hopefully he stays in. We'll see. My hope is he stays in. If he switches out, it's a great play by him. But I'm going to Fake Out to break the Terra Shell and hope he doesn't think about that. He's thinking hard, though. He might just stay in. I hope he just goes for, like, Earth Power or something. Does that tell me anything, actually, based off his item here? Distorting type matchups, that's fine. Unless he's, like, Covert Cloak, we should be fine. Actually, if he's lefties, he's not lefties. Beautiful. So now I can Drain Punch freely. I can Drain Punch freely here. I think this... If this doesn't kill, it should be close. Actually, with my spread, I don't know. It probably doesn't kill, actually. Hopefully he's not Weakness Policy. If he's Weakness Policy like Rock Polish or something, we could be in trouble. But I think we're okay. He Terra Starstorms. Yeah, we're fine. We are just fine. I'm going to Drain Punch so much of this back. It does not kill, but it does a ton. And we should live any one hit that he's going to throw out at us here. So I don't have a reason not to just Drain Punch again. And I honestly feel bad because my team has 2 fighting types on it, and he is mono normal. I am honestly stunned he didn't bring Zoroark just because of that. But Iron Hands is going to take a kill here. Kills the Terapagos. So he was the answer to this Terapagos, which I'm feeling good. So at this point, he is a fully healthy Ditto, Ursaluna, and Cyclozar. Did I say Ditto? Ursaluna, Snorlax, and Cyclozar. I feel like I said Ditto. I definitely meant Ursaluna, Snorlax, Cyclozar. I don't know if I said that right the first time. So it goes to Bear. So he's going to go Choice Scarf here. And now, I don't think I need Iron Hands anymore. I want to see what he Scarfs into. I don't think I need this. I can easily go into Joyce after. I can go for like Reflect, Healing Wish, those kinds of things. And honestly could Healing Wish my Jonathan back up, and then I'm just like sitting really pretty, to be honest. So I'm going to see if he overthinks it, or maybe, you know, goes for another play. I'm just going to Drain Punch and see what happens. Yeah, he goes for Headlong. Okay, so Latias obviously was a free switch there, but I'm okay with this result, to be honest. So I can go into Latias. Ursaluna's going to kill the hands. I'm not playing for differential. I'm just playing to win. So I think this is the safest option for me because now I go into Joyce. And now he is most likely 3 physical Pokemon. So getting this Reflect up is pretty massive. So I'm just going to Reflect. And I can probably just start Mistballing at this point. So he's going to go into Snorlax. This thing does get Brick Break, I believe. Well, we see what he goes for here. I'm going to Mist Ball. Got my screens up. I don't imagine this does a ton. It does not. Goes for Curse. Okay. Could this be an issue if I let him set up? No, I think I'm okay because I have a special Lucario in the back. So I should be fine. And I'm always going to outspeed. And I can Terra Fighting Aura Sphere. It should be fine even if he sets up. I guess he could go for like Rest with Chesto. He's got Cyclozar, Ursaluna, Snorlax. Do I let him do this? There's no way he clicks EQ, right? There's no way he kicks EQ in front of a Latias. No, I want to keep this in case. This could get dicey, but I'm going to Mistball again. I don't know. I guess he could be like Citrus. He's probably Citrus, right? He could be Curse Rest Talk. Goes for Crunch. Okay. I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. I can take another one. I'm going to Mistball one more time. Does he Citrus? He is not. Goes for Body Slam. 120 damage, no paras, and that is beautiful. Mistball, I think, should kill here, actually. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it. All right, that is down. Okay, that had me worried for a moment, to be honest. I was worried that he was going to, like, rest and have, like, Sleep Talk or something and could get potentially out of hand. But we take that threat out, so that's good. That guy's gone. And now it is Cyclozar, who I imagine just goes for a U-turn, right? Do I have any reason not to just go into Dustin? This thing doesn't learn Earthquake, right? I mean, it learns Mud Shot, but there's no way it's clicking that in front of LATIAS. I'm just going to go into Dustin here. If he clicks that, then he's the best player that I've ever seen in my entire life. See. I mean, this guy could potentially be Scarf too, I guess. Could go for Knockoff, actually. Probably does. Draco, okay. I think we should live this, no problem, right? Okay. What does that tell me? That looks like it's just Timid. I guess this guy could be Timid Scarf, to be honest. But if he is, I think it's okay. This could get a little dicey at the end. I think we're all right. I'm just going to click Close Combat here. All right, so we are faster, so he is not Scarf. Close Combat KOs. We should get another one on this Ursaluna. That was a crit. That should not matter, unless he is, like, literally max defense. Which he, yeah, there's no way, because he's 252 with Timid. There's no way. So that crit should not have mattered. If somehow it did, I'm sorry, Gokey. I don't think it could have mattered. I guess I could be mistaken, but I don't think there's any chance that mattered. I'm just going to CC again. This guy's Scarf. I know he's not weakness policy. We are tech to be faster than him no matter what. Does a ton of damage. And what does he Scarf himself into? Because Headlong Rush guarantees a win. Gonna go for the Body Slam. Makes sense just to try and, like, para my guys. And he actually does get the para on the Arcanine here, funnily enough. My Reflect goes away, and now he should be faster than me. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk anything. The only way I can lose this game, I believe, is by switching out. So I'm not gonna play for differential. I'm just gonna CC. And he will take me out. He should with a Body Slam. He will do that. Ursaluna honestly kind of popping off here. Took out 3 Mons. But Lucas here with the Terra Fighting Vacuum Wave, I believe just KOs. If it doesn't, then we could be in trouble, I guess. Yeah, this shouldn't be an issue. I think we're just fine. I'm pretty confident there's no way that this bear can live this hit. I am going to make sure to Terra Fighting, Vacuum Wave, and this should do it. So I don't even know if I need the Terra, but I'm going to make sure, because if I don't Terra and somehow this doesn't kill, I'm going to feel really stupid. The new Pokemon to our team, the Lucario, who was not on the roster before this week, should be able to come in and clean this up. I believe this is GG. I don't want to say it just yet, but I believe this is game over. Unless he is very especially bulky, and it takes him out, and that is going to be GG. That is a victory for the Toronto Razor Leafs. Honestly, a very fast game. I just kept clicking buttons pretty much the whole time. Shout out to Gokey, who is an amazing person. He's a super cool guy, honestly. I don't know him, like, super well. I just got to know him a little bit, but his videos are really, really cool. Seems like a great battler, and honestly, mad respect to him for playing with a mono normal team. I mean, honestly, if I lost this battle, then he's just the freaking GOAT, because I had Iron Hands and Terra Lucario into his team, along with Tinglu and all this stuff. Like, I mean, it's hard. Honestly, I think he put in a lot of work. That was a 3-0, but it was actually kind of close. Lucario was the only one with a healthy amount of HP. So, yeah, overall, awesome game. Shout out to Gokey. Guys, we will catch you in week number 6. Have a good day.